Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. In preparation for a Let's Play that I want to do, I have decided to obviously create a sim, Veronica, and to build her a cottage. And I'm actually really happy with the way that it turned out. First of all, the world, the cottage living world, is beautiful, and there will be no fail this time because I switched up all the packs thanks to James Turner's pack picker switcher offer, and that's on his website. So no tiny living TVs, so that's good. The shell that I wanted to do is, you know, cottages are meant to be older style, so they have separate rooms. Open plan is not as common, although I think a lot of refurbished cottages, you know, they were a lot more open plan than they used to because the rooms were so tiny. I wanted to keep the shape somewhat interesting. I was playing around with options that are different to doors so that it doesn't feel as closed plan. I decided to make like the living space or the TV room really small. I generally, as always, strive to have a small build. I don't know if I've succeeded. So here I'm doing the kitchen. The cottage living cabinets and kitchen counters, that's the word, are just to die for. I think they're so beautiful, especially in that yellow, but there's like many other swatches. I think I do the top counters in like dark blue, and I love that as well. I think it looks really cool. And I love the fridge. This is the cottage living fridge is cute, and the aga, so the hob thing, I'm assuming that's an aga. It is also like a dream come true. And the sink, oh my god, it's also cute. I just can't, you know, I can't. It's like, I love cottage living, and I've been really like not playing with it on purpose so that I could make a video about this and you guys can actually experience my excitement because the whole idea is just stupidly amazing. Here I decided to do the dining space. It will shift a little bit later, but I'm quite happy with it. I think it was really cute. I love the bar stools that I found. I think they're like base game because obviously I only have base game and cottage living this time. The bin, I wish had more swatches. Like I was a bit underwhelmed by the swatching, like the barrel swatch of the bin. And here you can see that, yeah, I'm doing the whole dark blue / yellow, obviously, cabinets. And then I put some beams. They're not beams, they're columns in because they're so cute as well. I really use the word so cute so often. I'm sorry. The things that I think I missed most in this build is sofas and rugs. Like literally the main thing that I really struggled with is the sofas. I was just like, I hated all of them. I was like, okay, they're all horrible, just shoot me. I picked something that looks relatively cozy and traditional and sort of cute. And the rugs, I mean, you can manage, but there are so many cute rugs now in the game that it's just, you know, it's sad when I don't have access to them. I started on the bathroom and then I started on this little side shelving thing that I decided to do. I really like the idea. I kind of also at this point had the idea of it going like through the wall, so it's on like on one side and then on the other side. I gave up on the idea later on and just went with more traditional shelving situation. I couldn't match the wood again or the white or just anything, so I was just like, ugh. Also, again, using the cabinets. I didn't want to use the sink because I already had it as a feature sink in the kitchen, so I was like, I don't want to, like, you know, mess another. Also, this one comes with like blue taps. That's so cute. Again, so cute. And that jug as well, I really love from Cottage Living, the jug with the flower. I put it on like a lot of my builds. It's just like, it's everywhere. I love that jug. It's so cute. The bathroom I really liked. I decided to just go for the bathtub because I felt like that was more the vibe and there had to be a big window. That is also a cottage living window. I also like the cottage living curtains, the ones that you pull down. I think they're really cute and they fit really well into a lot of different places. I don't know, they're just like really easy to place. They have a nice kind of snapping situation. Wow, this is like a lot of bathroom. I feel like I'm over this subject now. I want to move on. I've already talked about my pneumonia. I have pneumonia, okay? My psoriasis is acting up. Just everything, like I'm peeling. Everything's just bad. And I have problems breathing and everything. But I'm here. It's an interesting journey so far. So I posted my first video, and thank you to everybody that's watched it. Thank you to the Guild Wars community, by the way. You guys are my supporters, although I'm not playing Guild Wars. I mean, I have played Guild Wars. I do sometimes play Guild Wars. It's a really good game. But Yeah, you guys are pretty great, actually. I wish we had more robes in The Sims. I feel like if we had more robes, it would make some builds a lot more interesting. We have aprons now, really cute aprons, but I feel like more robes would also be nice. The tiles I struggled with for a while. I've edited that out because they were all really severe, but also kind of cool. And I think, yeah, I settled for those ones, which are, yeah, they're really, really nice. I think they're interesting, and I don't think I really use them very often at all, actually. So again, one of those things where if you do a build and you force yourself to stick to base game and just one pack, for example, you suddenly discover things that you wouldn't normally click on or swatch through because, you know, you have your favorites that you gravitate towards. And yeah, this way something new can become your favorite. I have used it before, but I like completely forgot that it existed. What's really important about Veronica is that she's a super positive person. Okay, she's got the traits of, I think, animal enthusiast, loves the outdoors, and something else that's cottage living. I don't remember, but the point is that, you know, she's really positive. And the story behind the house is that Veronica found this cottage, and it was a perfect cottage, and she bought it, and then, you know, the typical house horror story. Turns out that as soon as she got it, she went in there and the roof was leaking and the beams were, you know, rotting, and she had to put like a lot of money into renovating it. And now obviously it is perfect, but she's broke, which is part of the challenge of, you know, that we're going to do when we do the Let's Play. It's like, I don't see it normally, but as soon as I turn on the camera, every little, like, anything, just the camera sees everything. All right, so I've changed the shelves to be in the middle. I spent a long time trying to figure out the candles that you can see there to kind of be on the counter. I made them smaller at first, but then like the flames were up above them, so the candle would end there and the flame was like here, so I did have to like scale them back up. And here is the bedroom. It's actually a relatively simple bedroom, but that's beautiful about cottage living, right? It's the simplicity and it's the simple living that I'm really scared to play with. I love talking, guys. I really do. But I'm finding it so hard to breathe. So it's meant to be traditional, but with like a sort of modern twist, basically. And it's meant to be cute because Veronica is cute and she likes cute things because cuteness is awesome. So I finished the bedroom relatively quickly. I miss Tiny Living and the pack that you get with, you know, the modular sort of wardrobe things. I miss that a lot. I use that a lot now. But I miss Tiny Living so much when I was doing this build. You know, for the tiny TV, for the chairs, for a lot of the like rugs and a lot of paintings and pictures and stuff. I mean, I am like obsessed with paintings and pictures and just like not having empty walls, which I think sometimes is like way too obsessive. However, with this room on the right, I leave that wall empty and it gave me anxiety. I was like, I don't know what to put there. I'm just like, just leave it empty. And I think it looks fine, but to me, it's just like, it's an empty wall because I sometimes have, you know, like just painting, but every wall has to have something. And I think maybe that's a little bit crazy, a little bit. So guys, what do you want to see with cottage living? Because part of what I want to do is I want to make sure that I only play cottage living with base game, which makes me sad, but also is kind of the point. I want to experience the cottage living expansion to its fullest. And I know there's chickens, and I know there's llamas, and I feel like there's cows and birds and bunnies. There's a lot of different animals. So I want to experience all of that. If you have any suggestions on what's fun to do, then leave them down in the comments because I would love to, you know, you guys sometimes do stuff that I wouldn't do and it would be like cool. And again, getting out of your comfort zone, one of my favorite things to do. Apparently, I don't know. So the goals that I have so far for cottage living is to have an amazing chicken that gets a really big, cool ribbon, to grow a massive aubergine for the US inclined. It's an eggplant. I call it an aubergine because it's a really cool word. Aubergine is an awesome word. It's like courgette. zucchini for the US inclined. This is where I finished the kitchen. I just clutter it up a bit. I put that shelf there that then is sort of a bane of my existence when I decide to put a window on that wall. And I struggle a bit on the walls. I think I cut it out as well. I've edited like everything. Oh no, I didn't. It's still there. I struggled a lot there because sometimes I feel like with cottages and builds like that. Hello. I don't know if I can show him to you because he's not big on like jumping on people because I've taught him not to. So, good boy. Here's Goofy. Oh. See, I have to cuddle him now because that is the law of cuddling your pet and of cuddling your pets and your animals. Okay, now I don't know where I was. So it takes me a while to do the walls because I feel like cottages and certain builds, industrial builds, it's really nice when they have exposed brick or exposed, you know, stonework. That's what it's called. So I wanted to kind of bring that in, but it also sort of didn't make sense. So it made sense that the entire wall is also brick. To me, at least personally, though, that this whole wall, if it's exposed there, then it should be exposed everywhere. And I struggled with that because it was like a lot of stone. But eventually I fix it when I do the hallway, I think. We'll fix it to a degree that I accept. So I move into doing the living room. I think it's a really cute living room. Again, I don't really think you need that much in the living room. I really think you just need a sofa and a TV and a coffee table. I have a coffee table at home. It is my coffee table, nobody else's. It has my stuff on it and it annoys everybody because it's got everything from, you know, nail files to psoriasis creams. And so my laptop lives there. Usually, not right now because I'm upstairs. It's just all my stuff lives there. Like my laptop, my drinks and nail stuff. I don't know why nail stuff seems to be such an important part of my life. Sorry about that. I dropped something, but it's fine. Okay, excuse me while I also go and blow my nose if I can find a tissue. Yeah, so I use the cottage living rug a lot. And I get to use the wallpapers legally this time. Unlike the last video that I did where I illegally used it and it was part of my fail of doing like a seasons only build, which was the point of my previous video. That was a very complicated sentence, I apologize. And that bunny, also another thing that I use all the time. So the jug with the flower and the bunny, for some reason. I generally dislike like statues and stuff in Sims. I just find them, you know, I'm not a big fan of gnomes and things, but that bunny is just cute. I don't know, I just put it everywhere. You know, clutter I think is actually a very serious issue in The Sims. People want clutter. People want more clutter. I think it makes a house look like somebody lives there. I think a lot of CC is like clutter because we want more clutter, which is why, you know, now EA is coming out with clutter kits. I don't think it's like the worst idea. People are apparently really disliking of kits. I don't have any kits, but that's because, oh my god guys, the biggest news ever. My game is in English. I don't know if you can see it. It's in English. You guys have no idea. It's been years. And I was talking to all these people, customer support, over and over and over again, and nobody could help me eventually. And the email system is just ridiculous. They kept asking me the same questions, and I really don't blame the customer support, like, people that work there, because I really believe it's probably not their fault. Everybody that I've talked to, they were just so nice. I'm pretty sure like they were trying their best, but just the system was very confusing. I would get an answer from a different person every single day, so therefore they would like reestablish the facts over and over again, and it was like a crazy train, okay? So I eventually decided to call them, which cost me money because I had to call the UK. And the UK is no longer part of the EU, therefore it costs us money to call them, which is sad. So I actually called them, and the first person I talked to did not solve my issue. And then I think it was the third person, the angel from heaven that this technical support woman was. I mean, she just went, please hold. And then she went, you know, she went away, she comes back, it didn't work. Then she goes, please hold, comes back, and my game is in English. It's in English, guys. I'm sorry. She is, I don't know what her name was because I didn't catch it, because I've talked to so many people over the weeks and years about this that I didn't catch her name, and I'm very sorry. But if she ever watches this, or if I never ever learn her name, I think this is a bit stalkery, but if I knew her address, I'd send her a gift basket because like she has no idea what a big influence her help has had on my life. Anyway, I'm doing the dining room and my game's in English. Very, very excited. And for all of you that did not catch what the word szczoteczka means in my previous video, the word szczoteczka is brush. Specifically like a small brush. So like szczoteczka would be like a toothbrush. But like szczota would be like a big brush. And szczotka is like medium. So in Polish. I'm doing the dining room. I love these cottage living chairs. I think they are super adorable. And that's a cottage living fireplace and it's gigantic and it has caused me so many issues later on when I was trying to like do the outside and make it look okay. Which you won't see a lot of it because it was just, I did so much off camera because I was just really stressing. But see here, I was like trying to build things out because obviously it's a fireplace, so it should have some sort of vent that I never really do. But I was like, no, I'm gonna be really realistic this time. I'm gonna like nail the realism here and yeah. But I really wanted a fireplace in the dining room. It's either that or the living room. But the living room was so tiny, you know, you couldn't really fit. Well, maybe you could, but then behind that was a corridor, so it's like, I mean, yeah. It would be ideal if there was a living room and like the dining room and then like somehow this one fireplace manages all, like both, because obviously fireplaces are there for a quaint, wonderful, comforting look, but also they're there for heating. Like that's the original idea of a fireplace. Yeah, that would have, I guess, been ideal if they could heat up. Like maybe be in the middle, you know, like a hearth. A home hearth. So here again, I do the same thing as I did with the other window where I place things. I spent a long time doing it and then now I just really dislike it in life. Maybe I can learn to ignore it and just play. You know how, this is insane, again, to me, over and over again in life, how adaptable humans are. Sometimes it's a good thing when we are adapting to something that we don't have control over. Like, I don't know, you have a disease or an illness, like I do, for example, and you know, you have to sort of adapt and walk around them because otherwise you just wouldn't live your life at all. But sometimes it's a bad thing because sometimes we get used to things that are not good for us. So when we talk about toxic relationships and stuff like that, you know, you are in a situation where you're used to that. So this is like a really deep subject, I'm sorry. Where you're in a situation where it's not good for you, but you're so used to it that you're just, it's like normal to you and it just feels like normal. So hopefully the bowl of fruit will feel normal to me as I let's play this. But oh my God, that was such a weird tangent again. Jesus. What am I doing? Wall lights. Again, I hate wall lights. Wall lights are always ugly. I don't, like seriously, in The Sims, in real life, I don't know why. They just always look weird, okay? Like, I really dislike them. On the other hand, I really like, you know, like end table lights. Like, I really love those. I think they're cute because they're sort of like a decorative item at the same time as they are a light. There you go, there's the shell. I just decided to furbish it before I build the outside. But I do like that the little bin nook kind of naturally just occurred in this build. And here I cut to where my roof is a little bit more done because trust me, I spent such a long time on this. It was just that you don't want to watch that stuff. It was so boring. Here I'm sort of trying to mess around with all sorts of different windows and like those trim things. I don't actually remember what they're called. I think they make the roof because without those, the triangular things with the pattern that go on top of the roof, that roof just looked really boring and not great. So I tried to kind of figure out what would be a good idea for a window. And then I spent like a really long time trying to make it equal. So as you can see, you know, you have the door and then you have those sort of windows that are like balcony, galley, no, I don't know, like, you know, like sticking out. And then it wasn't even on the on either side and it drove me nuts. So I spent like a good hour trying to figure out how to make it even. I didn't want to change the kitchen and the living room because that would have been like a lot of effort. It would have been a total pain and I really liked the way it looked. So I kept changing the dining room, but that there was this gigantic freaking fireplace that had to be there for the quaintness and comfort and heat. So I just kept like kind of like moving things and playtesting and oh, it was hell, I tell you. But here, see, it's beginning to look kind of cute. It's beginning to look like a cottage. It's cute. I like it. It's on the gallery, by the way. On the gallery and just NissaiSimology. I'm pretty sure I tagged it also as Nissai. So if you just want to write Nissai, then you can download it for yourself. I think there are like 3 walls in the bathroom and like the corridor next to the bathroom that are like, there's some sort of paint job that kind of got lost in translation. Again, we will let's play this and we will see. So it's beginning to look cute. Obviously, then I turn the house around. I'm like, oh my god, there's roofing here too. Like, why? I think I keep this bit in though, so at least you get to see me struggle a little bit, because I'm sure you enjoy that, because everybody enjoys so much other people struggle on roofing. Also, it's strangely enjoyable to watch people like eat things that they don't like the taste of. I don't know, it's really weird. It's just strangely funny to me. Maybe there's something wrong with me when people eat something that's disgusting and they're like, you know, they're like having a physical reaction to it. I find it hilarious. They do it on purpose. I mean, I don't do it when somebody does it like by accident, but like, you know, when you have YouTube videos of people eating something disgusting or something that they really dislike. FYI, for me, that would probably be cinnamon or pineapple. I just cut out all the times when I sniffle and cough. And I mean, sniffling is not really giving it justice. You guys have no idea how much extra work it is. Just all those coughs and all the phlegm. So much work. It's like so much editing. Anyway, if you were to watch me eat pineapple or cinnamon, or worst of all, pineapple with cinnamon. Ugh. See, I'm sure that's an amusing sight, amusing face, you know? People like that sort of stuff. And I am definitely guilty of that. I love a disgusted face when somebody's eating something. There used to be this channel that no longer exists called Clever TV, and Clever TV used to have this program called Beauty Break. That was not a very popular program until they got cancelled, and they had like a last episode that they could do, and the girls that were doing that program just sort of winged it, and they were like, okay, let's just do something whatever, something really silly, and then it blew up. And I loved watching Beauty Break on Clever after obviously they were given the freedom to do what they wanted. It was hilarious. I like, seriously, even my partner watched it, and he enjoyed himself watching it because they were just really, really funny. There's a point to this, but they also did a show about exactly like eating or trying different stuff. And I don't remember what it was called right now. Oh, there's Veronica. Hey, look at that. See, an important thing about Veronica is that she's ginger. And it is important. If you're British, then you obviously know what that means. So my problem with Ginger Sims is I always make them evil. For some reason, Ginger Sims just always end up evil in my gameplays. So I was like, no, Veronica is going to be a good, positive ginger person because gingers are not evil. You know, other places in the world, they're not. This is before I entered the debug mode. Now, if I entered the debug mode at this point, this would have looked a lot cooler. The reason I went into debug mode was to get a car. And debug mode is basically items that are like in the game, but they're like glasses, or like when you make a plate of cupcakes, then obviously it is an item in game because your sim produces a plate of cupcakes and stuff. It's an item, but normally you don't have access to it. You can't just go into build mode and buy a plate of cupcakes. But if you go into debug, then you can. And you can buy all sorts of things. And so I was looking for a car, a really cool car that I also think makes this build a lot better than it was. It just makes it look so much more realistic. So I put the car in, and then I see other things and I get excited and I put a few debug things in. Although I don't think I use a lot actually, because I really didn't want to sort of confuse and water down this video with talking about debug stuff, which I realize I am currently doing. So the reason I decided to put in a car was exactly what I'm doing there is I'm trying to figure out how to do the fencing. And I was like, it kind of looks nicer if it's not finished, like all the way towards the door, but then it's not functional, right? I mean, I know that cottages do that where they just kind of have like the stone fencing that doesn't actually like close off. But I wanted it to be functional because I'm gonna have me some chickens and a cow, and I don't want them to run away. I don't know, maybe they can use gates, and therefore this was all futile. I'm going to be very attached to my chickens. I can just see that. Well, Veronica's chickens. My dog is staring at me. I can just see him. What are you doing? Why are you staring at me? What's wrong? Anyway, so I wanted to close it off, but then it looked like really severe. So I decided to sort of do the side bit and then And then I was like, that's empty. That needs a car. And that led me to the whole debug mode. Oh, there's my dog. You can see him in the back. I love this grill. This grill, I have never, ever used before. Like ever. I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else use it. I don't know why. I forgot to put a smoke alarm in this house. Note to self, put smoke alarm in. It's just a little sitting outside area, no big deal, except for the grill, because it's so cute. Generally speaking, I think we're pretty much done with the outside. I didn't know how many farming patches or like gardening patches I'm going to need. I know it says, I think it's 4 plants and then 1 big plant, but I don't know. So at first I did put like loads of them, but then I deleted half of them. So we'll see. And here's the car. You can see the car. There's the wonderful pickup truck. I mean, isn't it cute? It's so quaint and it's so fitting to where like in this cottage, and it really does make this cottage look more cottagey. Yeah, it turned out great. I think it's lovely. I really, really like it. It was a dreary day at Veronica's cottage. I love this build. I'm really, really proud of it. This is not something that I usually do. This is something that I really struggle with. You know, I really, really enjoyed doing it. It was so much fun and I just can't wait to play it. I'm really happy that I'm going to make a Let's Play out of this. I'm really happy that I'm going to share this with you guys, and especially, you know, if you're somebody who doesn't know if they want to get cottage living, somebody who's considering whether you should get cottage living, then I hope that can help. Because sometimes it's really hard to sort of decide what expansions and what packs and game packs and stuff to get, because there's just so many. And, you know, it's a lot of money for most people. For me, definitely. If I can help someone make a decision whether to get it or not, then yeah, that's kind of the whole point. It's gonna be sad to not play with all my expansions and all my packs, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited to just discover cottage living. I like how natural it looks in the world as well, that it just kind of does look like it fits there. So here's the entryway, and this door is adorable. I'm trying not to use the word cute as much, and really, really quaint. I'm using the word quaint all the time. This is our little walkway and I love it. I didn't have access to the shoes that come with home decorators, so I had the ones that we've used for so many years. Here is the living room. There's Veronica. Hi, Veronica. Hello. I don't know why I sounded like this. So here's the living room with the TV. Very, very simple. TV, candles, bunny, and some stuff on the shelves there. But I think it's enough for one person, maybe 2. Eventually, Veronica could get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Not yet. We will find out. And the dining room, I spent a long time doing those curtains because I was like, that's how this is. It's gonna have curtains. Not because of privacy, but because of temperature. I really think warmth is like such an important thing in a cottage, and the insulation and the heating situation is not great. So you need to take care of these things by using curtains and like insulating your windows with like a towel or something. So here's that little side table for a gatherer that I think is super cute, and that light that's above it is also super cute. And we go into the kitchen, and the kitchen is so lovely. If I had a kitchen like that, I would be canning jam all day. And the window, I know it looks awkward, but guys, it fits. So on the right, there is this little teapot that you can see. There's this nook, and that was also created so that the house on the outside is even. But I actually think it's really cool. And I love that it's there. I think you can put lots of things there. And here is the view of the kitchen. And it's a really, really cute kitchen. I would live in that kitchen. I wouldn't. There's nowhere to sleep. Let's continue down the corridor of the Veronica's cottage. And let's enter the bedroom. And the bedroom is so cute. So adorable. There's lots of yellows and blues. And again, the cottage living rug that I love in all sort of swatches. I think they are adorable. The clothes hanging there. I wish I had home decorator to make that look cooler, but I do like the dresser. I think it's a really cool dresser, and I'm glad I had that. I think that's cottage living, I'm pretty sure. And I made sure that the bedroom also has an exit to the outside, as well as like there's an exit near the kitchen. I always feel it's like a dream to sort of have like this really cool garden and then have your your door from your bedroom that you can just enter into the garden. I think it's one of those things that I would love to be able to have in my real life. Let's go under the bed. It does look a little bit cold. I feel like it looks maybe like it would get cold there. More reason to, you know, find somebody to keep you warm under those covers. And here is the bathroom, a room that I have spent a long time making, but I am super happy with it. What makes me wonder is this cabinet, like this side kind of cabinet, why does it just have like 4 plates? Like, what's up with that? Because I was thinking, can I put other things there? But I couldn't figure out anything that I could put in there. So, like, why is there just like 4 tiny plates there and that's it? Like, there's like empty shelves. It's really weird. Also, I guess it's kind of weird in the bathroom, but we're gonna go with it. And I like the little ottoman, somewhere to sit down, somewhere to kind of throw your clothes when you go in and have a bath. Like, I feel like that's needed in a bathroom. I feel like most bathrooms don't have that, you know, somewhere where you can just go chuck your clothes and then get in a bath. So I think it's an important part of life to maybe think of that when we do our bathrooms, because I definitely don't have that in my bathroom and I wish I had. And here's the toilet. I'm not sure about how close that chair is to the fireplace. I feel like maybe that's a bad idea. And the outside with the really, really cute grill. Oh, and there's no roof because I forgot to turn it on. I'm gonna need a hat. I hope you have a great evening, morning, or night, and I'll see you at the Let's Play. Maybe this time I'll be happy. Why doesn't this work?